Example vinaka naturai kena marama ni varorong tiko mai I mbalatangane mai viti kena viasai pura-pura. Vinaka valeu na nomnindo vito koni tiko mai vekeito na Marama Alliance na vita vike de kitondo ndingarawa tiko. Na zangu ngo Miriama kau na nomni vengara kono vengara tiko vike mni na mbongyongo. Au marau valeu ni mai ndambe tiko ngo vatike na Marama totoko Mrs Kelera Tuvou Ganivatu. Marama Kastipuli kanda bola-bola ka pakai tiko-tiko sari tiko mengoi Albania. Antonga na tala no laka-laka ni biara ni na solia ve Mrs Ganivatu mana pamatala taki ko amanda mai o bia wasianga ba laka-laka ena ambaki saoti ena ngono baongo o kere-kere talenga ve Mrs Ganivatu mela komanda mai me kito me ve tala no Gay bango no na malani vasa ve iau ngit kon mo kwenta na kau se sasanga takatiko sembere ni nongungo na mo se la ko ani kina yuni la ko taleani na kerkere na singani kwa o vavin vina ko bali na no na zingo mo mai ge ba ko kila na ka sasanga takaloti ko ya sa mai rawa sa mai tavo na no nei bola ni serikali Gena no na kaza kawe o ge waksa mutaka na maraman do zaka lo na maramango seng ni via separita kana kai sa sanga taga tiko ni sa sibisara na koro sangai kalu eu ba bin binak valeu na no na amazing goma na nito kere malmalumu baba kito na Marama Alliance binak valeu na no nindo vito ko ni tikma vikito Mrs Ganivatu na vida ngana poseu na kere ke muni pamadala taki ke muni sarmanta viki mami na parorong tikan
Iya, nakapalay Miri, au tarda na konggo mababin rin natin kimdo na Marama Alliance UK, na namdo sila kanumdaw ngauna, namdo visureti bayaw, na may biwasay tuki ng baleta na nunggu journey, na buturarango ni bola-bola. Kau babin rin na singabi na ni kuwa, hindi na nindo nga na yawa yung kilani na nondar USA na roni dotale roni may buli kina se dawan beka na nondra journey o ira na nondra experiences. So yaw na makay na tango Kelera Tuvou Ganivatu au ngone nin ratam pumay nandi o sa suspengamay virtu na nunggu wasu may bureway na kortumbu may ra na nunggu patanggali o na watu nunggu ebusa rewisabu matay na no may burewa na kortumbu may raya na balagalek o klan kiro sa bitano tiko bale ko ki dagdagti baru ambeka may biosete kino bata na nangumbula au binakata meu nasingin na ninday au binakata meu acknowledge ta kirtungar na visu sumay via orto na nunguna tanawag kayo nunguna tunanalilay nalebu talalay talebu ngumomo ravisu subulimay nando na ngauna ko sa nandar sa may dami tikinanggo aglandar na gawitang no tigayani ko ngaya balak na kambalitiya
Vinak valeu Mrs Ganivatu totoka iyo kila talaga na bimbi ni sema koni tukune tiko mengori berto na susun kem ni mai ni warita katal tiko ngana no ni bola to na gitara tali tiko ni bala kala kan yo tiongo yo ve kem ni ngana sar tiko mai via warita ngani ni vebu kitali tiko ngana tambanongo no pongongo lulu ni sana kilai lulu vinaka ke baka mena lenga na ni romona liva na Veva kanyongo sana turi mayo lulu mena may vebu kekina ke pakai tu na nominitaro sendona kani via wasia ninguém imbita toka ngamai na chat function ni keri mena vebu kekina lulu vena ko levo na wasi na ponyongo wasi tiko ngapa tolu kero na sanga sari tiko me kero na Vautia kede kina no vika kede kero via vital notaka. Kila levo sari tiko na ka kero via baritaka. Yo kero sana teko fu sar mandayani na matai tu ngani wase me baka na topic ba kay tigni ko na kana baka bulan taki se kana baka babalang na kana nurture taki. So mbita tiko na taro ve Mrs Ganivatu menitala nota ka mandamay na kana teko butaki na nomni vola ni serikali ongona Peregrines Falcons Cry. And ando nomni tatanda baka tongo se da be baungi atasar na nomni sasanga merau kina na ivolongo.
Iya, katana tarabinaka. Taumando vinaka meu tegu buta kamay na nungu talnoa na the love of writing endo na bioka ni tigo pate kena Willy Walla. Oya wasanga ni awatan ratu me do singa mo wala sanga sinibaya na nungu tuba ni nungu bula na kangondo talita katiko klan sa waseo tingo be dokati na nona bata na nungu talita na Willy Walla. Willy Walla tiko ver na tigo na the love of reading tigo sarangamay with a kindergarten. Mana kindergarten ko nga na bola tawir tu may ilo manivale ratu ilo manivale wala ni kornibuli in the library the picture books kla ko ka na ka kaya vagabunda ento na it inculcated something in my mind the adventure na we nua na colors we ba si ver na ngone ngone te butiki na ngone se ngone au kila ni watale ta sarvale na just the love of stories na itala no just the tales the folk tales of various places ko sarga ya sa te butiki me ke na nung gundo tale ta na Willy Walla man
Mrs Ganivatu bakausa se
iya. Oi, sabi be sa talenga na nungu taleta kana nabi matangali pola from folk tales to novels to short stories to different types of genres. Kung nabi matangali pola ya usa o koyo sa mamadang tagawti. Eti kung nabi o kanini Willy Walla kena bola na nungu gailay bola gali te ko mai ndo na ya ukila na nangono formuli makina nangono chicken na form 5 o ting makina turaki ndo na bola wilika au gai to wala me bola me to try and retell the story in that book ya nanungu sa usanga nikila that was the process and nangono ya but it was a childhood dream mundo Willy Walla lebo usa wando nikila nangau nanda Willy gotiki na lebo na vosa baleta na vosa ndo na kambimbi na vosa kambula na vosa saranga na no mirani panerani ya na kai lewa wagang tagai muri to nangau na sa te buta kata tik mekina nangon ni politiki na university ta vosa ang sarani se na no politik meturaki ulting metade eu sang so tinin do bola eu nakanga untuk takang tingo wale na Willy Walla Willy Walla na library time na library period so nga no like ko wale ko to may bola so ko no to na library okay dan do for me the love of books was always there and sang nga ni Willy kan do na matangali bola it was always the type of books live na types of books na novels detective novels criminal fiction all these kind of books so romantic novels all these kind of worlds kota mai vi ko na vocabulary babalangi o kamanta babalangi may be book sarwale na nungu English subjects bebuk sarwali na ya tigo buketa may na Willy Walla nangono gali bola kina nangono saya to kina na university ni deba atau dati ko sa CCV ni poetry competition ang pag to na nungu poems wala yo ya sa tigo busarti ko sembera sara ni matata na kabika wala nangono sa uti may kina university ni deba sa late buda kataka na puno ya usang kay tegu bola uli takata kay Namatay ni nunggu paninda tak pernah tembo high school oleh ingas ni bulti kina. Antonga nunggu kornibuli bengkarabi. May lotoka. Utal tawali na nunggu bengkarab may na tembo high school. What a beautiful school to begin your working years. Napunta kara ulit utang akin na nunggu bola-bola salay bubul taletiko na nunggu postgrad. Gaya roto na gasinindi anggo orto na do bola-bola tal nga orto Seten Renanda na pair black shoes. Supramani bita ko na short stories. Orto may bitong bertal biyaw na do nga na long ni na kona viyang baki ko maybe ngarami kini na Tambo High School wana baki ni nunggu takatako cha sanggay may orto sandang may tumberti ko na bola-bola. Kona bola-bola sarangaya o uci kina na nunggu serkali. Nunggu bola serkali, nunggu bola short story. O kaya ni natambuay o sasar na nunggu takatakay may natambuay high school sasar ay lota ka teachers college o may bengkarang takakina napunoya salay refine tagsarkin na nunggu bola-bola as a writer, as a reader. Na nakenatigutek na Peregrine Falcon's Cry ang galitigubo in Mexico. Kero ang bibiumay na ron dulu 2012, kero ang bibiumay viti kasama bingkarab tigoy Mexico. Kung masarangan na ni ruting may Mexico yan, ba't sabi awaki? Sayaw sa robi tilomani, sa chikla banana no. When I removed myself from Fiji, it keenly, it clarified, brought a lot of clarity. Nanunggu bola-bola. Wasarga na puno may tigabu kompaltang tinanunggu serkali. Nakakere ang kay meeting may Mexico. Nanirobo ni Bengarabi.
Sama tata vinaka sarong vinaka sarong maro ni ko kahit ko may na ibita na puno iluto ka. Ona Tambo High School o LTC buzini may kina sini buzini bate baka mengai baga kukuata ya baka ngado taki na nomnindo talitak do talanga kambi mini ya kamay liu ya membaleta na nomnindo wili bola na kindergarten au ba vina kataka ni ngonongo ore ni salebu sariti ko na bola nonta na bola beira na luvenda kara sabolai tiko baka viti o klani nda tumbu zake mbeka mai rendre mbeka mendari na matangali bola baya io viki to manai kia na bola tangana usa kilatiko rua na marama ro bola tiko baka viti o bere but roi I believe I stand corrected, please correct me if I'm wrong but those two ladies are currently writing children's books and ebi baungke ti weekend and in the redeti ko ni garabitali chunga ernangone even though they are far from home. Mrs. Ganivatu, sorry, on the topic of nurturing, that you were quite close to your extended family members, and dona poem may be na nomunivola atare yo bimbi na nongwa wilika o kerker mo na wilika manday ni veke muningo. Na yava ni poem go kemni va vana tiko na nau and bumbu tangane. Autalita ka ebidangana lines o kutomengo ko ni polatiko. But I look forward to your tali imbe. I walked the process with you, planting voi, cutting stalks, sunning, wawalui, flattening out the new dried leaves, tozi, equal splitting of the dried, flattened stalk to a process of weaving. And when you were done, I was proud of what you could create from those well-loved, creased, calloused hands. Kila, when you were writing that, opawili ka tiko bakasar nga mo yung reda tiko na process ni kaya na may zaka na voy muso na voy na kaya na lay basingani na kaya na lay walui kila na dangay reda nakakanda sang di kanda pulita nga na classroom nakasar nga so liat tiko may weekend o ira na nonda ngase ira na nonda tumbo ira na nonda niye onge ba wa equal takachiko ike we keto natikongo I mbolatangane ni sasanga nangase ke so keto saranga nangase. So sa keto saranga ng bumbu na kukutangane. Yo nirani famatala takamanda like na contribution, these significant people that you've written about, kila the impact they've had in your childhood.
Iya. Oya una nungu bula take mai oro na mbungu watike na tukango. They were very important figures in my life. Baleta okila ni there was something that was transferred na non-ro creativity. Di ba ni senga mi levo na kai tu beirao oro sanga sa okay oya mai ruangan namba ki beirao pat ni wa tu mai binungu momo aronge kereao Olha lá, pela como também me talai tu ni taki wai na tam so I came. Ang wala may breway o may tiko na koro. Au ba wina wa lebu kana kalong ni wala la ko na koro. Baleta na bonuaya. Ko na ka tu kuno tiko Professor Stephen Ratu wai ko na horizon ni tatu dai tu may na bonua ke tu dai tu me kin breway. Nakanga ke memreda na horizon ya ko na matasa wanda rete ni bango no lebu batira peste jikiai na bondoya au wakila ni na non tumberi na nongu ngasi au sibi nongu now. I was very close to my now na bono ngati ukina na nongu now ya no bono ya tambe tu ukina paleta na talan noa ayo wala talan ko be Dr. Tim balat no kondo talan noa lebu na talan noa andau may talo tagatiko ko ria andau tali takabale baleta the narrative okay dia gaila ko batati ko non dau talimbe na process ni talimbe usanga me connect takabata na kakedengo. These are processes of creation from nothing into something. Of course they drew from nature Lá quando boy não quando te boy na boy from there all these processes I was there to to observe more than the processes que there ando talita kana be kanto ta ka na kake de ta ka na nung bumbo lewa ta ka mata na kake de ta ka ko ya whether it is to do with cooking o klein nagti ko ya bena cercalia te pata sanga se dava da cabo se todo se wawa lui se talimbe se ngole koya ina to the creeks melang melitanga ura oya ulang taltanga ba tigira yo okila ni do nakaya I think it was transferred that's that spirit of creativity of imagining something out of nothing ninguém do talio pa na imbe meliba pa kula akaba na ingu takap saranga na manggosa ke iya manggosa ke dong totalita kana kanda takap nungutao and I think it has never left me nangaw na wala kin na nakango sa kuna bi naturang na wating terangan ni nakaw na karungo may kandabu redo yaw na nungu dedication ni bolong ko yaw na dedicate ta pero na nungu tutu my grandfather and my grandmother balataro nungu bumbu and what they were very integral part of my creativity. But I don't know what happened, but nurture take make on creative side. The ready to one but the ready to the nature na way ulu ni banu and the ngole ni bango lomani ve kaulo and the ngole ni bango the lay siwa na kakete we are in touch with nature Kaya hindi nindaro sa tunggoy babalay into sa tunggoy Europe. Tas nabando ni ulit ako. Nabi ngauna and sa Civita Maya. Those were our humbling times. And I was so grateful for that.
Yeah. I came across as well and done a research. I think it was done in 2019 and it was about na talanoa. Se natukuni, se storytelling, na connection with grandparents and the role it plays. I'll just read a small extract from that research. that grandparents are the storytellers. And this is for the indigenous people. Storytelling is commonly used to express feelings, beliefs, and the importance of experience. And this includes historical trauma and marginalization. And it helps healing from the experience of social injustice, along with the use of traditional ceremonies that come from deep traditional wisdom. Glana kanan biutu nanonda so makanang karavita biba banua it's tied up to our healing process. Kaya e bola itu mana research ngo. And the use of storytelling to heal from historical trauma has been characterized as the process of re-traditionalization or healing of the spirit. Yeah, and then significant kila dari itu nanonda bulan na itoke si sona kanda da kapto na toke weekend da ba the other back kina you can sinikila behind that there is significance in that, and there is healing that comes out of that. So yeah, that in your writing you have acknowledged these people who were integral in making you who you are. Na kena pakai ngatek mentang na vossa bakaviti na no muni bola sambo wana na we levo sarga na vossa bakaviti tika. So
I don't know when I started using that. Quando não usa bola chiquino na bola serikali usa takai. Soma na line bakaviti. So what we call in English idiomatic expression. Que na bolango. Era naquela binaka or era na itoke nada what I mean. So it's one of that close knowledge. You know, this so and so person will get it. We'll get it.
Yeah. And so, speaking of sorry, I'm interrupting you. You can tell how much I love your poems.
That's lovely. That's lovely to know.
Yeah, there was this funny one. We'll get the humor out of this poem. We can relate to it. And Dongo, I think it's from. Anyway, it was a reference to the deceased bus.
I think it is something to do with our looks, eh?
Yes.
We can blessed with the loveliness of being a Pacific woman.
Yeah, I believe the poem is titled "Brown is Beautiful," and this is a line from it, and it goes, "You should eat more greens. Here is the row, the tumbua, mbele, and the garden salad, so that you don't look like an overloaded diseased bus."
So, you know, a person who has been to Fiji or they will get it. They'll get it in baleta matai o kenda puntakan na tiko na bibi matabubal maybe. Kanya naroro. Wala ba naroro na tumbo na and all of these things, eh? Well, si bibi ka na sa may tuwang kung sa may lebo, eh? So when I was writing that poem, so I thought, you know, to put some humor. So
it was really lovely. Glad to recognize those little bits of humor throughout the poem. So thank you so much for gifting us with those experiences through your writing. And speaking of humor, just to go on a different gear away from poems, I just want to acknowledge and Donador Wongo Chukamay Portsmouth, he Batabuli Dortochuka Vidana Lala Nibalangi, Nandro New Tombuto Toka. Say other menu Kuaratona Zoroboni Balango, and that you can eat Tarara, Nandro New Tombuto Toka. But the Sabako Terabe, not to video like a laka, or Sana playtime and a video like a go before we go on to parts 2 and 3. I hope Osangani Bakadava and
not a problem.
Oseni Bakadava and live streaming go. Okay.
bula vinaka na dango tusa na koro korbiau o toru ni tiliva na kasalaka katabu basu na kuruai bodo rewa na loma ni madha vinaka ngo ka marotaki ni ke mami mai bulida na nukutokan na wili ni kosoka viti na bunua na tumberi wili mikina na tabuno lomani ko viti aramarotak sarabagaliu ke mami vital notaka ke mami history ke mami vital notaka ke mami culture ke beka ke mami bimelo tikina na lomani lomani madhangu aramarotak bagaliu na nukutokan me bulida sarabagaliu na nanda itau kena nanda wasa ena buno enda bingkara dikit ali mana crew tu and sem crew tu mine hunters ke mamsa wanu ni binakten kena marotaki Fiji Day celebration worship tela kena kara lomni mada na buli kusbagaviti ena buno ombol tangan na viki mami anu ni dorugo ke mamsa wanu ni binakten ada lomni mada. May God bless.
Hola, my name is Josh. Happy Fiji Language Week. The word that I learnt today is Move Manda.
Bula Nayakayo Web. I'm on the Hunt Class Minesweepers, and the Fijian language I've learnt today is Tatolka Tika Nabula.
Bula.
Bula.
Ada video lelai. I hope by next year or Josh would kirtona nelaula maybe mine hunters back. They will be able to do a dronu tombuto toka. Gamay tinetika orto melo toka na buli posso baka visita ali chugo kami pa pinakita kina nondo kilano posso pa ito okay. Moving on, Mrs. Ganivatu, now to the second bit of our program. Part 2 na kena vaka marengeti sana kena preserve taki na kena preserve taki na nanda vosa na kena mai bola ina no muni bola ni serikalingo e sombe kana kawa ya la takalotu mempaleta na no mi bola se vakana vatanga ngente ni no mi bola se na vosa kona zabuta se na kai kona vitala no taka se na issues kona kavataka ndombe kana Dana kawayala takalotu, like these are the boundaries you will not cross. Like for example, or Ernest Hemingway, but Louisa May Alcott, in their writing, you will notice that they don't use profanities. Kila? So were there any standards that you set for yourself? And like you said, like this is where I will not go.
Yeah. Dona tarvina kambaleta matai etalotu talanga. I'm an artist. Sangwal nga ni artist as a writer and the lotu and so it shapes the way we look at the world. Na nanda writer saranga na buru-buru baliti kenda bosa talanga and the wakayang ataka. So yes, there were standards. Bola kena beka I was very careful. But I'm sure this is debatable. Nothing should put a standard to your writing. But as a kingdom artist, yes, that is number one rule. And Volatiko kina nanongu short stories. There were some things that were part of the story. So I had to edit. I edit because it was too raw. But the standard of being not only that, the sensibility and nanda way okay. So talaga na bosa na napakangata kami kuni malewa. Kuni malewa tu na kana pakangataki kena bosa da sana it's not part of my that to me belongs to the gutter. I mean there are books that has those kind of writings. And no, there is a standard. So yes, those were some things, and Kena karua na sexual sins, sexual sexuality, and nanungubola na explicit things. Those are some things that I've told myself that yes, I will have to put a standard to that too, to censor my writing. Yes.
Thank you. Yes, and it shows, and I could tell that you nanumu bola kila usanga ni pikta karawa na use of profanity mananga, which is something that sticks out in kila artists like Charles Bukowski. Say kila you can tell that these are people who kila raw and nothing
very
is
free. Very liberal.
Yeah, but there were some issues where oni sanga ni rere na bandikeva. Kila oba benvena katalanga ya bakana issues bakana predators, sexual predators in the home. Nakani nanda ku, because you and I both know we were at USP around that time. And we were affected. These affected our lives back then, and you were not scared to get back and like really tell us how it is. Good review, like something along the lines that you have families as well, and what are you going to tell your children when they ask you what role did you play in all this? So can you tell us a bit about that? Did you debate within yourself in going down those routes when you knew this is what I'm going to talk about in this poem?
Aku bin katanga meu klani na postal tiga wal papalangi na bitar nongko. It was, to me, it was never a reluctant or hesitation from my part. Baleta na nongubuli daka nongukoroi, ole buli tamay na language and literature. On the literature part of my education has prepared me about this, about the role of the artist, about the role of about the role of artists in a community. Some of their responsibilities is to sort of be responsible for unearthing the truth. They should not shy away from the truth. So to speak. Sing dondon talanga na tamate wala sing dondon merere. Sing dondon talanga mena to put things under the carpet. And when I read the poems, read some of the aspects of our culture. Baleta na nando wiro rokobi nanda kakedengo sanangauna sana kayada tiko na matagubale sana kayada tiko na nanda society manangokenda. We tend to brush it under the carpet. Okenda sangani, we are not pinpointing the problem. Kono bonoya okenda nanda wala nanda dono menanda wa ndikeva na kakedengo. And you use words. Writing is always a political act. It's never a harmless activity. Writing is always a political act, and that is the reason why they always stand on the edge of a society. The artists, they always have a burden. They always have a burden for the emotion that they carry, because a sensitive part of a society that they feel it. Baleta lebuna kaya da tipo. Ngai tukun tigo kenda sen kenda menda kuni wasa takamai. Da kuni derakamai. Da kuni so nangono sa when I've decided to write nangono sa wakasamta kung sa wala. I went like this to the Lord. Lord, I will write about this. And I will need you to give me the words. I will not resort to profanity. So They tell stories, they pass on traditions, the artists, they record, they preserve our human history. Kena wika keda ko kenda na numatu, menda sui panda da kapet. O ko enda bola ko e ko tutani keda mai na kaya mengai mai wada kulera. So they come and they bring it to you because, you know, for our national healing, for healing to take place, we need to know what is the problem. What is the problem that is happening to ourselves? Because sometimes when we are part of the problem, we don't see the problem.
Yes.
Unless you come out of the equation and you're looking in, and you can really see the whole big problem of hypocrisy and everything that is happening in here. But in the guise of nabewa rotaki kena kakengo, kena sinirin daun dalang musuh. Sinratang abi kena menana vola. It's a very sensitive place to be in. I understand all that, but I also know there is a generation coming, and they need to know. They need to know the truth.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that. On the other side of the coin, say for example, our oiranando wala era wakarorong bakati ko may viti era nagera ni kaiting may era ora saranga wiki mrona bewa kanin ro wasti ko Miriama ki Kelera monro kaya menda wade uta may nakaongo nyo ke mron ro wasti ko may ngorin ro sati ko ivanuatani ni seng ni lako durumati ko na andre ke mami lako durumati ko iviti pavamba kanano mu nanu make. Do you think the artists, the writers back home, they can't use their full voice back, they have to tone it down balata na political climate back se koko back tungana be rokovi na kilana on the traditions?
That's a very good question. It's a realistic question. It's a question that I've been told so many times that no. When I was in FNU, I was also writing like this, but what you mentioned, it was toned down. And I feel for the artists, I feel for the writers in Fiji, I feel for the intellectuals whose voices have been silenced. I feel for all the academics who need to toe the line in order to keep their jobs.
Of course.
And I feel for all of these people because their voices have been silenced. O kenda to na tigo may tumba, erara tigo bikin to man to was wa Italia, so we kenda na social media na rama tigan bantay. That's what we need to understand. Kepakanda tigo ibiti, yes, we need to operate in wisdom. Nabuku kilaka kena because we have a job, we have a nananda matabubali, retuya na matabubali, lebuna obligations, and of course people need to eat at the end of the day. So it will determine the subjects of things that they write. That the subjects that they will write will not be on the biggest elephant in the room, and they will write about other things. So in that sense, I would say yes, go on. You know, we encourage you to write as many things, and for that matter, I would like to say that I'm so inspired by Miri Rakanan Rahu. You know, she's a very good example of a writer who's homegrown, who is in Fiji, but who is shaking the world with her writing. As a Commonwealth writer, not only one time, but she's been winning like 2 times, and I think it's 2 times as the winner. So to me, Mary is a very good example to me that we do not need to speak on these explicit things. And any injustices of our community, in the Walla Kina, in those. So yes, we have to tread on those lines, on those fine lines.
That's so true. Yes, Mary's always been someone I admired as well. And I think Shazia, Nanoibola na Kaluti, yeah, very good writers. And on that note, there's some writers who have come out as well, self-published books, and they're not based in Fiji. They're based, I believe one is in the US. And Dongo, Mr. Inoke Thokanasing, I'll just hold up his book. I'm not sure if you can see that.
Yes, Restoring the Broken.
Yeah. So his book came out last year as well. So last year with the Pau's book, Restoring the Broken. Just putting their names out there to look out for their work that might come out again. Dongo Emma Volovol, I believe this is Ben Volovola's mom. So running, the redeemed and victorious life of a solo mom. So there's lots of writers out there who are slowly putting their work out, and they're really good writers from Fiji as well. And I hope they get the recognition that they deserve. And so thank you for mentioning their name, Mary's name as well.
I'm Paulini Turangedi.
Yes.
Fluent writer.
Pau's got a new short story out. It's called, I think, Tsunami or Tidal Wave, one of those two. But this is her book from last year, The River, which we had done as a book club. Yeah.
No problem.
So we'll now move on to part 3, and this will be the final part as well. Na kenabaganga takis na kenabaswabala ina sustain. So na dabambaka so na nomuni tuva na lomani vida nambak sa tungo iliwa. If you can share, ke kanira ni wasea, and so na bosa ni bandre ni na rauni solia ve ke mamina kawita uke ke mamindo tanda tagatu na bolo ke muni Mrs Ganivatu.
Yeah. Ovin kataga meu matayo na via wasea baleta na beira na politiko. I would like to say, keep on writing. Wal sar na kena level. Okay, editing. We need to edit our work so that it's publishable. Lebu na banua au bakangataka na kena wala na iwalango. Kilani writing is a very lonely, very lonely existence. It's something that you are doing alone. Esa kanidua wakani dala ko medalengito, ko bango ndaroma to kana mama we. Ndaroma to mama we kailating misandongo kailating. So we are communal people. We get our, we get all our all of that from the celebration going on around me. But when you are writing, nobody is clapping for you. You have to do it by yourself. We have to sit on the chair and finish our writing. I got a book coming out. I got a book coming out. I was so excited. When I decided that I was going to publish the book, it involved a lot of work. Publishing already ni weekend na itoke kaya kaya sa nindo ay publish na no muy bola se tambaka na no muy bola se print. You can do it by yourself. Wakata na no muy bolango. I put it on Amazon, but before I put it on Amazon, ulako na Fiverr, Fiverr. Mana Fiverr tu kaya kinora na freelancers, or na freelancers go rarani layout your work. Go kanang na sa edit na kaya tikin na may bola. Seraka nga wasangati whether it is serkalimbekas, a novel or short stories. So what you can do if you want it to look nice on a page, run a bit of a Fiverr, and you can get the best person from Fiverr. We need to be careful, but there's so many people over there. Review. So the best reviews is the one that I will go for. And the portfolio or a freelance. That is something that is to my taste. So O ngale na 5 ngone a mer to lele o taka na ngui bola na book cover ko tamba ki tikong go na to ka na dona ngui tokani ke ruwa ta watu mai Mexico o kwenta un roini na ta Natalie Dickinson a plan yo ni rede tiko sana no na roini inside the book, but I commissioned her. I said, how much do you, she's starting out. So she told me, okay, bango, okay. Can you paint some things for me? So yes, I can. So Otimaya sa laksar na book cover. So they had to lay it all out, way out. Nimber nung galembite na Amazon, especially for Beira weekend, na Beokani, and the Benakatamin na tapakan na non bola on Amazon. I was hambita on Amazon, but the new Matay, at the Karu sa Kanibiwa sa Stekel na Kada Bika Waba Kitay Bola. Nangona ka biti na Amazon sange basang takas rin resar nga may biti kaya baka mera o tati ko may na Amazon pero sa bitanong bata kinawating nalong ni balo sa tunare daw tanda menatandar pa ko taman tanda nakatin zero me kawi biti ndera binakata mera bolia o babi na kan ni sole bolia na ibola ni serkalingo. Nothing is impossible. We can bola tiko. Kaya santa tindo na kamen na ka. We can na loto. We can na ngarap na kalo. Kaya sa tiyo ba tiyo na kalo. That whatever you set on your mind to do, you can do it. You can do anything. On the radar. O kenda box tagi kenda tiyo na in this walk. Okay? Because our God, He's all for all of this. Not the tanra, not the dreams and the vision. We can do anything. You can go about doing all these things. If you are publishing your own book, sa matay man mo sa tampakan na nung wala. You have to market your book. Nobody is going to know whether you have a book unless you market it. On the side, because we need to market the book, so we have to advertise. We have to advertise the book so that people know that there's a book available. And nangon matangango may artuatu na may bitini sa song talk na nandaw tambay bola may USP. Before they used to do it, I think they have other printery here, but we can do nothing go walangi. Oh, let's start on printing presses, and you can get like a good deal for your books. Yeah, we can volatility, but there are freelancers online that can have a look at your books, have a look at your work. Edit, first comments, but do not quit. But you only have one thing to do. I just decided publish until I'm satisfied that this baby has spent some time with on the run out there as we are selling it out, either online or in Fiji. Yang sering nunggu my future plans, na runang tolu 2023 I've decided to release a collection of short stories. Some short stories ko kaya wat ko na chikin ili ni so may Samoa, Western Samoa, pati kay Guam. Atakan doon na si Siwi. Ang ganda nung, okay, yung masando to, nanonong talan no. Ang kailan yung willing to talk sa talan no, Miri. Very beautiful writing, very beautiful story. So I'm looking forward to your book that is coming out. So those two stories, nangonutik mo in Mexico, ito na rin pinarina. How sa topaletong na doon si Siwi ngo, so I sent it without, even thinking that they might get it and they might publish it. Now, no sarang to publish kina, I realized, they like my story. I kind of like second guess myself whether I'm a writer or not. If you are writing, you are a writer. Why do you have to second guess? I said, no, I need to publish. So those, I will never forget those two nations. Rona Matentungo, they actually gave me a start in my publishing. Guam, particularly Western Samoa. Interesting that my writing was not published in Fiji. It was published regionally outside. I think that's something that we need to look at, especially in publishing. Let's face it, our culture is not a reading culture. So we are passing against the grain. We are fighting against this, but we need to put works out. We need to market it so that people hopefully will read some of the things that we are writing. So that collection of short stories, Beyond the Sea, Sand and Smiles, is coming out now by Mengo that July.
We look forward to that, Tio. And then Donaka ni tukuna meya etareo sarangana nomni kame na bosa na editing ke bakao sabia bita na nomni zakazaka. If you want to publish your work, you have to love editing. And Donaka Lore Donaka Lore level na bola ne Mrs Ganivatu ngona level ni editing. A lot of work has gone into this killer. I can assure you, you are not just writing, not just purchasing a book. Afterthought to say you are getting over 70 poems and artwork by Natalie Dickinson, and a lot of thought has gone into this. So I really recommend that if you love writing, if you love reading, and if you especially love reading in our Fijian language, there's a lot of it here. So yeah, highly recommend this. And on the topic of editing as well, I believe that Pau, she's also running classes on editing for children's stories. Because she's been through the process quite a few times. What's involved. She's helped me out as well on a personal note. So as someone, I must say I'm a serial editor. So I started off with 25,000 words. I'm watching with 10,000, say 8,000. You have to love, and every day you come and say, oh, I can't believe I wrote that. So it's still coming, Mrs. Ganivatu. Thank you for the challenge for us.
Because as a writer, we need to nakambo ko yung nangon sa to kina publisher o sangale read to kina. And don't know, a letter is missing or a punctuation is missing. And Moses Sargana Lungu. So those are some things that you will have to face. If someone is publishing your book, they will do all that job. I would say that dirty work. But if you are publishing your work, you have to be all there. You are the marketer, you are the editor, you are everything. You are wearing so many hats. But if I had to do it again, I'll do it again. But maybe right now I will, but editing is a must because
Mrs. Ganivatu, I think your sound has gone off.
We really need second eyes to have a look at those things. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's true. And do talaga na meme wari that chico, it was shared by one of our cousins, or well, I'm not sure who shared it really, but that the fastest way to pick out your mistakes is to hit the publish button. So when you're going to submit something, as soon as you press it, it's like, oh my gosh, notice a typo here. Well, thank you so much. So Sakavata are our three topics, the major three topics that we wanted to cover. So I had asked listeners listening in, our Kelera Tuvou Mrs Ganivatu, manangay songwata na program go with a reading of one of her poems of her choosing. Vinaka, over to you, Mrs Ganivatu.
Okay. Yeah, I think and that's it. Na matay nga ni poem, matay serkali rain in English. Last week's fury of nature clapped and boomed, slits of shrill rain on the roof, lightning, thundering, papa-jum boom. This morning, falling and falling, earth's musty smell rising. When sky meets earth, earthy, watery, engulfing, truly. Dryness and arid lands soak like sponges in coral reefs, have hardy soil crumbles to an energetic deluge, sweeping away yesterday's scenes, overwhelming, truly, sweetness in the spectacle of how something so hardy, relenting to power. Your heart, my dear, though stony, rocky, granite ugly, need a dose of the living water, desperately and consistently. Be malleable again, be desirable again, leaves dense in joy, waxed in watery film, mountains glisten in the distance as heaven, glorious dew fly down like angels at the birth of the sun, glorifying, hovering, freshness in the air. No more nature's lethargy, no more apathy for the human spirit, no more dustiness, no more prolonged drought. Let this water rain down on you. Birds chirping, singing soulful songs. May nature and you be one again. After rain's glorious visit, it is the morning, the dawn of a new day, the dawn of a new life, birthing new visions, rejuvenating deadness to life, watering inertia with a 180-degree turnaround. As dews overwhelm this place, be glad. It is raining in paradise when all else is chaos.
Beautiful.
That is rain. And
so beautiful. So many visual effects.
So many visual images. Iya, ang iwanan naman wala na serkali na donangaw na atong bisar tunga kinot. It was raining cats and dogs. Agay lako main do na wakasa may wasar nga na nondong bulay nangaw ne ukaman na meto yesterday's mistakes. We need that rain. Wasar nga nangaw na waray tikinitong ba? Taong bisar tinga kinot ang kailang may nabibos ka na go. It was just so many visuals.
I'm not sure if you intended it, but I will pick up the sun, like sun as in Lord Jesus, sun.
Yeah, that's exactly. I mean, it's the metaphor. I think who might be the rain. They who might be now than get talking with Nambula. Eva Sapchinga, the metaphor ni Serta.
Man, Glana wordsmith. Like fashioning words into a story or into a feeling. This is beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And don't tell na Serkali, and that's it. Hope.
Sure.
Hope flies with wings. Hope rises one morning when it was just another dreary day. As night melts into day, this pain is a constant thorn. The ashes of mourning my grandparents love, or nursing a hidden wound of rejections, love missing from whom that matters most. I whisper to the wind, hope, you must give wings to your songs. Clip my wings with your trust. As rain falls, I smile in glee. Hope was ready for me. The ashes of feeling like a dog over the years erased. I see hope the way he sees me. I wear hope on my sleeves and usher her in the inner sanctity of my heart, for she has come to stay.
Amen. Oh, that's beautiful. Personifying hope, eh? So
Personifying hope,
beautiful.
yeah.
Man, thank you so much. Mrs. Ganivatu, I have been blessed personally, and I'm sure the viewers have been as well.
Thank you so much.
From Natala noni nomini vola kila na nomini susu dake mai wiki mai mandangana wili kana nomini volongo and dotani naka este taka wiki mami kila the love of poetry, which for me personally was buried for all these years. It has come out through this book. So thank you so much for sharing your gift. And I also take this opportunity, Mrs. Ganivatu, to wish you the best. And I know more projects like that with your short stories and also in your studies, no more PhD. Me was when I kataka na no mo sasang na kalo the verenda ngarabo to dok chingo when nakawailevo na no ni wari taka chikubiki mami no way. So thank you so much. I'll give this moment back to Lulu, who's our technical host and everything host for us today. Thank you so much, Lulu. Over to you.
Vinakavalevu kemrana marama na mai witano tiga na wata ni Marama Alliance UK. Do mai wakatavar vinakstaritinga na nonda to madhawa ni wasabakaviti pertania na ambakiongo ronondo rosa ukarua. Vinakavalevu Mrs Ganivatu rongo vinakandina na nom ni talnota kana nom ni ilako-lako na nom ni the wala-wala. Just the past few minutes there when you were reading your poems, it just struck me that some things I always think about, for me personally, some things I can't quite articulate, and poems seem to fit that space. So it was beautiful to listen to your poems, and I am going to go and get myself a copy of your book right after this, because I am quite excited to read your poetry. I have been following your journey. I've seen you promote your book. I've listened with interest when you said you had to overcome your shyness to promote your book because nobody else was going to do it for you. And I'm glad that you did. Yeah, I'm glad that we are all glad that you did. We are proud of you, Dona Luveviti, at that level as an author and a poet. I Googled the book. I was just, when you were talking, I Googled it and see where I can buy it. And it's at Barnes and Noble, but I don't know. I think that's in the US. So I better go look for a local bookstore. Yeah, tell us where we can get it to get a copy of the Peregrine Falcon's Cry. Thank you to all our listeners who joined us this evening to hear our closing session for Fijian Language Week here in the UK for yet another year. We thank you for attending all of our live sessions this week. We thank all of our guests. From our very first live on Monday, Master Simi Seruvatu, and then we had Dr. Risi last night, and now Mrs. Ganivatu from Albania. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time and for your interest to the audience. We have learned a lot of lessons this week. We have also been given a lot of very sage advice on how we can nurture, preserve, and sustain our Fijian language. And with that, we say goodbye. And have a good evening and a blessed weekend to everybody. Nakbalium.
Naika.
Madmanda.